What the heck is Formula One?
Pole position, strategy,
yachts and parties,
safety car, Ferrari.
beautiful corners.
Oh, right, okay. There's a car in front of you. Try and overtake it.
Oh, I hate you so much.
Hello, you fools. Welcome back to another Formula Fools podcast episode. I don't know what I was about to say there. I just stopped.
Yeah, well, podcast episode was a good thing to say.
Podcast
Well
episode.
done. Yeah.
This is episode 8.
Yep.
8. Yep.
8.
Yes.
8.
Of our 34 episode crazy, stupid pre-season educational piece that you're getting.
Oh, yeah.
Could be this. Sorry, you go, Skin.
34 and 34.
Yeah, that's what we're calling it.
Famously called it last time.
Great name, obviously. Sorry, I thought you were going to launch into the next bit, Skin. You seem like you wanted to talk, so I was like, I'll take a drink
that
here.
was pretty much all I had to say.
Go, Skin.
Then you were just mid-sipping coffee.
I thought, I'll take a sip out of this. Skin's going to take it from here. Wrong.
Yeah, all right. No, I can launch into the next bit. So, yeah, 34 and 34, as we famously called it. We are doing 34 podcast episodes in 34 days leading up to the 2026 F1 season. We're talking about, we're doing an episode on all of the teams.
Yep.
This is number 8. We're looking at Haas today. Very exciting.
Yep.
Then we've got a reaction to some of the liveries and cars that have been launched, and then we'll get stuck into an episode on every single driver on the grid.
Yes.
Wonderful. So it's exciting. We're enjoying it. I hope you are as well. You haven't listened to any yet as we're recording, so it's pretty tough to tell. But
it's very hard to tell how these episodes are going.
Yeah, but yeah, hopefully people are getting around it, and yeah, follow along if you don't mind.
Nice. Go see. Now you could take your sip out of the coffee because I'm going to take it from here. Yep. See, that's just podcasting. That's podcasting 101. Who gets to sip the coffee? So yeah, as Skin mentioned, we are talking about Haas, or as they are officially entered into the championship as Toyota Gazoo. There's not a C at the beginning of Gazoo. Mm-hmm. Toyota Gazoo Racing Haas F1 Team.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Toyota Gazoo Racing. Is that, they haven't always been that? Is that new? Is it?
Yeah. They were title sponsor or just a main sponsor last year.
Okay.
But I'm not sure if it was a named sponsor like this. I think that they've upped the I think Toyota have upped the investment and the sponsorship in with Haas for 2026 and beyond.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I thought you had said to me before that Toyota have been an F1 team before, and I thought you mentioned that they would be like surely wanting to get back into the sport as their own team. Why would they sponsor a team if they were interested in making their own team?
Yes. But the simple answer is F1 is very expensive and takes a long time to get good.
Okay.
The more detailed answer is I think that with Toyota being stung like they were in 2007, 8, 9 era when they left by the financial crisis in the world, I think that has kind of left a bit of a sting on them and Formula One. And so I don't think they want to invest immediately. I think they're wanting to slowly build up and then potentially either buy a majority stakehold in Haas and then become a works team that way, or enter as a completely brand new team. I'm not sure, but certainly what they've committed to with Haas in the immediate future of like the next 3 to 5 years, I'm pretty sure they've got quite a long contract with them. Is to be technical partners, technical sponsors, and if they want to start looking, for 2030 and beyond as entering as an engine manufacturer, then they would have a good base with Haas and they would have a good partnership with Haas to be able to enter into the sport that way.
Nice. Okay. You mentioned in that monologue as the words works team, entering as a works team, which I've sort of stumbled across in my research for these episodes and don't really understand. What the fuck's a works team?
So works team is Ferrari, Mercedes, Alpine used to be. So it's the team and the engine manufacturer under one roof. So it's Ferrari design the car, make their engines, run the car. Mercedes design, run, make. Alpine used to, they're now a customer or they're a customer team. Williams, anyone that buys an engine from someone else, customer team.
Okay.
So Haas are a customer team at the moment because they have a Ferrari engine.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. Go Skin.
Okay.
That was a good little explanation. That'll be a good little social media cut down.
Well, yeah. Unfortunately, I dropped a massive F-bomb at the start of it, but that was great.
We bleep them, Skin. It's fine. We're family friendly. Sure. Just not on the podcast. Although, little side note, we have had people message saying that there's one guy that I talk to a lot through the Fools, and his son froths the Fools pod.
Oh, really?
And listens all the time. The son and his dad bond over F1 like quite a lot. And he was like, well, when we first started the pod, he was like, this is a perfect harmony. He's like, I love the chocks. I love the Fools energy that you're bringing. And now it's Formula One. Me and my kid can like listen together. And he still messages. It's been like 2.5 years and he still messages us.
Amazing.
Yeah, he's an absolute legend. I can't remember his name though.
Wonderful. Oh.
The thing is, I know from it, he's got an iconic profile picture. Like, so every time I see his profile picture pop up, I'm like, oh, I know this guy.
Okay.
Anyway, so Haas, that was a very weird tangent.
Yeah, we've been on some serious tangents. Before we get on to Haas, we were on the tangent of Toyota Gazoo Racing.
Yes, yep.
Great people.
Wonderful people.
And for somehow I ended up driving some of those Gazoo racing cars. I don't know what they did. It's the weirdest thing. They've got like literally like a Toyota Corolla or like a Yaris or something. Like looks like this tiny little car, and then they write GR on it, and it's fucked. And like it just goes so quick. It does the gnarliest turns. It was the weirdest thing driving around. I don't know why they put us in these cars. I went to this day at some racetrack in the sticks, and like I assumed they'd be driving us around, and they were like, "All right, so just hop in and go your hardest," basically. And I was like, I don't know how to drive cars. Like, well, I mean, I can drive.
Was that one a manual as well?
Yeah. Which is fine. I can drive a manual.
Okay, right.
Like, I can drive cars, but like not quickly.
yeah. Not how they want you to drive it.
Oh man, it was just the strangest thing. They were sending us around the track in these Gazoo racing things. It was gnarly.
I edited that video for the Chocks, and that was one of my favorite videos to edit because the amount of footage of you and Lee in the car, like when they would take you on the test, like you did the rally car and the Toyota 86 and stuff like that as well.
Yeah.
And like just seeing you guys like holding on and be like, what the and like, I can't see out the front window. I could only see the GoPro was just facing you guys. So I don't know if you're about to hit a turn, but then Lee especially, you would know he's about to hit a turn because his eyes would like go like that. Yeah. And then he would be bracing. And I was like, oh, it's the best shit. It was so funny to watch.
It was unbelievable.
We'll post that on our story when this episode goes live.
Okay.
Because that's a phenomenal little video. But yeah, Toyota. Fucking wonderful people.
It's the worst idea. I was going around.
It's the worst idea.
I was going around the track in this Supra with this bloke in the passenger seat who's actually a good driver. The Toyota Supra, and he's like yelling at me like, "You need to brake. There's a corner coming up." And I'm like it's just I've never raced, you know. Like,
you've never driven.
I don't know what's happening. Like, am I meant to be driving as fast as possible, or like slowing down for this corner? Like, I don't know what's too fast. I don't know what's too slow. So, like, he'd be yelling at me that I'm going too slow on the straight. So then I try and accelerate, and then I'm going into a sharp corner at like 110 kilometers an hour, and he's like, "No, this isn't going to work." This poor bastard's potentially about to lose his life because I've got no idea what I'm doing.
It's so funny because I feel like I would get in the car and like at least know roughly, I would know racing lines very easily. Like I'm good at that, but I would try, I would hope that I know braking zones and like rough speeds of what you need to take corners at. But also I'm fully aware that he would still be sat next to me going, you're too slow, or you're going too quick, or like, this isn't going to work, or that shit. Like, I think I would be slightly better than you two, but still nowhere near to what he is wanting.
Yeah, of course.
But yeah, I'm sure that was a very cool experience. Did you spin it when you were on the track? Because I know you did like burnouts and donuts and shit on the skid pad.
Yeah.
But on the track, did any of you like bin it?
No.
Aww.
We stayed on the road.
That's disappointing.
Yeah. So maybe I was going too slow.
Yeah. You weren't pushing hard enough into the corners.
I guess so.
Yeah. There was, you thought 110 was too fast. Wrong. 140. Maybe. Then you're in the gravel.
Yeah, maybe.
And then you get a bill 2 weeks later. Anyway, so Haas, we're talking about Haas. We're fucking 10 minutes in, Skin. Come on. Like you're taking us on all these tangents.
Sorry.
It was also me.
Yep.
So Haas are an American-based team. Obviously, if you've ever watched the Texas Grand Prix, you'll know that. They do great liveries, but it's basically just an American flag. Their main base is in Kannapolis.
My favorite.
Of the Palisas.
Yeah.
I'm assuming that's in Texas.
I don't know.
I've got no clue. Based on Haas original, like Gene Haas and the Haas like motorsport team being in NASCAR, I'm just going to assume the south of America. Okay. Like the south of the states, I mean.
Sure.
They also have a European base, obviously in Banbury, UK, just like every fucking team, apart from the Italian ones. They were founded in 2014, but didn't race in Formula One until 2016. So they had a good 2 years there of testing, building the team up and yada, 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 which is quite similar to Cadillac, like and Audi. Like when you look at their programs, both of them, like Cadillac, have been forming this team now for I think 2 or 3 years or something like that. Like it's been quite a while. So similar kind of trajectory. Seems if you want to enter the sport as a brand new constructor, then you need to have a couple of years under the belt of just research, R&D, and building a team up. Even though Haas are synonymous with having the smallest team on the grid, like they're known for working very like bare bones team and outsourcing quite a lot of things. It still takes 2 years to build that up to what it is. And they had Gunther Steiner doing that, and he's not a slouch when it comes to like getting people around a project. He might be a slouch when it comes to actually managing a team, but getting people around a project, weapon. So, impressive that it only took them 2 years, but also kind of crazy that it took them 2 years with the size of the team, especially when they first entered.
Okay. But that was their F1 team, right? Had they been a racing team before? You've briefly mentioned they sort of do other stuff. Have they been around for a while, or was 2014 sort of the start of everything?
No, so Gene Haas is a tools manufacturer in America. So they manufacture tools, they manufacture equipment for the motor industry, for racing industries, for just General Motors, General Cars on the road and things like that. Not General Motors, the company. Sorry, General Cars.
Okay, yes,
tools for them. So he does that, and then being an American who loves motorsport and cars and everything, the natural progression for him was to buy a NASCAR team or to start a NASCAR team. Which I think when he started it's nowhere near to the level of investment that you need for Formula One to get into NASCAR. They're a lot more bare bones. They don't have as much tech. They originally were called stock cars. So the point is every car is essentially the same. Like you all have a very similar engine and things. And it's more about your strategy and the engineering of setting up the car for the track and then the driver as well. So, NASCAR, I mean, I don't know enough about it to talk fully on it, but what I do know is the people that drive in NASCAR are very fucking talented at what they do. And the engineers are very talented in what they do. To scale that from a tools manufacturer to a NASCAR team, then to an F1 team, they're 3 huge leaps for Gene Haas. And so, him starting the team in 2014, debuting it in 2016 is super impressive. To go from a NASCAR, a fairly good, successful NASCAR outfit through to a Formula One team who's trying to compete with the midfield. Very impressive work for him to also not be too hands-on, for him to, get people in the right places like Gunther and Ao Komatsu in the early days, to be able to say like, hey, I want you guys to kind of run the show and I'll manage it from afar kind of thing. Mm-hmm. So very impressive from him. Okay. They obviously have won no constructors titles in the last 10 years that they've been in the sport. Mm-hmm. Their most iconic driver with the team, I would say, is Kevin Magnussen. I hope the Haas chap is listening. Henry, if you are, please agree with that one. Surely you're not going to go with any of the other drivers you've had. Hulk maybe, but I think Kevin takes the W there.
Okay, why is that?
He's been with the team for probably the longest. A lot of success with them, helped build them up quite a lot in terms of good results and just stable results when they needed them.
Right. You say a lot of success, but they've never had a Constructors Championship or a Drivers Championship as far as I'm aware.
No.
What's a lot of success look like for Haas? What was a successful year for them?
Yeah, well, success is relative. It's like I think for a team like Haas, you've got to look at where they came from that point of view of tools manufacturer NASCAR team into F1. So success for them is, can we just try and compete? Like that was at the very beginning. It's not even let's try and finish 7th or 8th or 9th or wherever. It's just let's see if we can go racing at race 1 and compete with anyone. Like, let's not be 30 seconds behind the next car on the grid kind of thing. And in their debut race, they fucking dominated. I mean, okay. Results on paper, if I'm getting it correct, their first race was a double DNF.
A double DNF?
I'm pretty sure. But let me tell you what was happening before the double DNF. They were both, I'm pretty sure, in the top 6. Grosjean pit. No, I think I'm wrong, but this was definitely something that happened. In Australia, Grosjean pitted, came out the pits, his wheel wasn't put on properly, had to retire.
Fantastic.
Kevin Magnussen goes in the pits, his wheel wasn't put on properly, had to retire.
Right.
I'm not 100% if that was their first race, but it was definitely one of their first seasons in the sport.
Okay.
I'm sure it was their first race though,
Okay.
if my memory's serving correct, but I could be wrong because I also don't think Kevin Magnussen and Grosjean were in the car at the very beginning. I feel like Gutierrez or someone like that was in the car.
Right. Okay.
But I can't remember.
Okay.
So I could be wrong if that was the first one, but the point is that they came out the gates, they came out the gates swinging. Like they had some very good results midfield. They weren't competing for wins or anything like that, and they haven't really done that ever. But to compete against the likes of Williams, Alpine, Aston Martin, Racing Point, Force India, whoever they were at the time, to compete with these other teams that have been in the sport for, Williams have been in there since the 70s, Renault/Alpine have been in it for a very long time, and that Enstone team in general has been in there since at least the 90s. Go on.
Nothing. I know Williams has been there since the 70s. I don't think there's anything particularly exciting about competing with them in
2010s. 2016 would have been impressive. We were still like 14, 15, 16. Yeah, we were probably podium in 15. So to compete with us in 16 was pretty impressive. Oh. It was 16 and beyond was when we declined.
Okay.
Yeah. Williams. I'm a Williams fan. So that would have still been impressive, but yeah, certainly to compete with them.
Okay, sure.
17, 18, 19, 20, 20, all them years, it wouldn't have been impressive.
So Haas's idea of success is competing around the midfield. Yeah. Have they ever won a race or even podiumed? I'm sure you'll get onto like the team's biggest moments and highlights and stuff. Are there any of those anywhere? Yeah.
So I came up with three. Moments. We've done eras on a lot of the teams so far during this series, but I kind of felt like with them only being in the sport for 10 years, it's not enough time for me to define eras. You could technically, but Haas's journey has kind of been a roller coaster, so it'd be very hard to distinguish three distinct eras. So yeah, I came up with three moments for them instead. So the moment in 2016 was their debut statement of them, hitting the ground running and not being the last on the grid every weekend. So they scored major points in their first season with a lot of top 10 finishes and a lot of races where you were kind of like, whoa, okay, this team there's a very famous thing. I think it was in Drive to Survive where Martin Brundle was talking to Gunther Steiner about how many staff they have at Haas. And Martin Brundle makes a joke saying Mercedes probably have that many staff currently on holiday because of how many people Mercedes have with building an engine and the team just being so scaled. And the point of that conversation, I think a lot of people misremember what that conversation was about because they think it was like Martin making fun of Haas, but actually it was Martin being like, wow, you're getting regular points and you only have that many people. It's actually very impressive what Haas are able to do, and especially in them early years. So just hitting the ground running in 2016 and getting points in their first season and scoring like pretty well. Can't remember where they finished. I didn't write it down, but scoring pretty well in the championship. They certainly weren't last by any means. Moment two was their best season ever. 2018, they finished P5 in the Constructors Championship, and 2018 being what it was, you had Mercedes absolutely fucking dominating. Red Bull was starting to come back up. Ferrari were really good. Shit.
It's got me.
Oh, I'm scared.
Got me very off guard.
Ferrari.
That's wonderful.
Oh, that is wonderful.
Go Ferrari.
Oh, scared. So Ferrari were really good in 2018 with Seb and was Charles in the team at that one? Maybe Charles was in Ferrari at that point already. But yeah, I remember Ferrari being very good back then. McLaren was starting. McLaren was starting to make their way to like the front of the midfield. So for Haas to be P5 was very good for them. Oh, we've lost us. We're gone. We're gone. I hope everyone else is laughing as much as at the Ferrari bit.
I don't know why I find Ferrari so funny. That's great.
I was going so serious. I was going so well.
That's what it was. It was like this proper speech.
Oh,
Disc.
Go Disc. Well done. So that was very impressive for them. Certainly their best moment, in my opinion. Certainly one of their best moments to date at that point, and kind of set the tone for their future, that P5, because they were only 2 seasons in, and it was like, fuck, this team is growing. Like they're doing fucking well. What could they do going into the new era of the ground effect? What the fuck is wrong with me?
I don't know. We haven't had coffee this morning. We have no excuse.
Yeah, I'm only halfway through it. It kind of set the tone of like where are they going to be a team to compete with going into the ground effect era? As we know now from history, they weren't.
We're not.
No, they struggled quite hard in following seasons after the 2018 season.
Mm-hmm.
And then certainly going into ground effect. But that brings us on to moment 3, where they actually started to get really, really they started to get really fast results, but not consistent results in the race. Mm-hmm. Kevin Magnussen got Haas's first ever pole position in São Paulo in qualifying in 2022. Rain played a part in it, like it often does in São Paulo, but you can't take anything away. Kevin's lap was absolutely phenomenal. It was one of them moments in motorsport history that I think everyone will remember. Kevin getting out the car, Kevin screaming down the radio at his engineer because everyone was just so excited. Seeing the scenes of the Haas mechanics and back of house staff, the media team, like everyone just fucking going crazy and jumping on each other and hugging each other, and it was a very emotional thing. And then they wheeled his car into the pits, and everyone's around the car. They're like, oh, and he gets out and he stands on the front and he turns around and he just gives it one of them, and everyone's just erupted. And it's just, they celebrated that like they had won a championship. It was fucking unbelievable. A pole position. Yeah.
How'd they go in the race?
I don't think they podiumed.
Nice.
No.
Go Haas.
Yeah. But I think Lewis was in P2. So it's like,
sure.
You've got Mercedes, was it Lewis? Yeah, potentially Lewis. Like you've got people like Lewis and Max who are, at this time, Red Bull were fucking amazing. It could have been Max in P2. Red Bull were phenomenal, by far the best car on the grid. Sure, and then in the rain, you've got weapons like Lewis Hamilton who are going to overtake you.
Yeah, okay.
So, they were never going to, I think they knew they needed to celebrate that because they were never going to win the race unless something crazy happened. So it was very impressive from them to get that. And just one of the best moments in sport. Like you see these like kind of underdog stories, and when you see it pay off like that and you see them celebrating, it's just like Nico getting his podium this year. It's just like, fuck yeah. Like you can't not smile when you see that shit.
Sure.
So yeah, we've just mentioned quite a few names there around.
So in answer to the original question, sorry.
Yeah, go on.
0 podiums, 0 race wins.
I think so. Definitely no race wins.
Okay.
I don't think they've got a podium. I could be wrong on that one, but certainly when I did this, I only wrote first pole position because that's all I remember. Right. I feel like if they had converted into a podium, that I would remember that. Could be completely wrong. And Henry could be in my DMs right now fucking screaming the shit out of me and calling me a wiener and telling me that Haas are going to beat Williams this year, which he's wrong about.
True.
Do you want me to wait for you to Google it?
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll take a moment.
Yeah. I don't care, Skin. Remember how much Googling I did in the
Has
fucking
Haas ever had a podium? No.
That
was quick.
Yeah, I didn't think they did.
Go Haas.
Yeah, go Haas. Great people. Obviously, if Haas want to jump on board,
oh man, yeah,
I'd gladly support them.
Sure.
Oh, they're great people.
Yeah, I'll support anyone for enough money.
Williams?
Yeah, all right.
Yeah, how much money would it take to support Williams? That's right.
Definitely more than most teams.
No skin.
Just because of the dynamic with you, I don't really want to succumb to your peer pressure. But they're a fun team. I could get around them.
Understatement.
I like James.
This is a Haas episode,
Carlos.
So I don't want to go away from
Alex.
it. But we will argue this off air. Understatement of the year saying that Williams are a fine team.
They used to be.
Skin. I tell you what.
All right,
I started liking you recently.
Back to Haas.
You've got questions.
Yeah, I've got a question. More just around. So obviously, it's tough to define eras with Haas because they've been around for such a short period of time. One era that seems obvious to me, watching a little bit of Drive to Survive and stuff, is there's probably 2, but the first one I wanted to ask about is just the era of Gunter Steiner being the team principal.
Yep.
That man seems chaotic.
Yeah.
And you sort of already touched on he's very good at this and very bad at this.
Yep.
Like what was he actually like as a team principal? Did he seem to do a good job? Like what's his background in racing? How did he end up being team principal?
I don't know too much about his history. I know he's been around motorsport pretty much his entire career, entire life. What are you doing, Siri? I know that he did some stuff with Christian Horner and Red Bull in the early days. I know he was kicking around, I'm sure, in the sports car or over on the Le Mans. What am I trying to say? The World Endurance Championship scene and things like he's been around a lot of different genres of motorsport. Look, I don't think he's the best team principal. I certainly there's no question on that. He was not the greatest of team principals in the long term, but for what Haas needed to get the team set up, to get them stable in F1, and to allow them a foot in the door, Gunter Steiner was the best person for that job. He was a good manager. He was a great person of getting people around him because of his connections in motorsport from previous ventures and things. And he's just a really good. He's got a really good way of managing people and talking to people, which I think was his downside, right? We saw it in Drive to Survive with, the don't fuck smash my door and all them quotes that we got from him from Drive to Survive. I think they highlighted some of the bad ways that he would manage teams and things like that. But I don't think that was an all the time thing. And I think that's where Drive to Survive can sometimes show negative areas of the sport instead of focusing on the positives. And they showed Gunter to be this fucking amazing character. But in my opinion, a lot of the things he showed were really bad management things. I would never do them things to manage people underneath me. But that's not what he was always like. I think for Haas's future, letting go of Gunter Steiner and saying, I wish they'd given him a better farewell. And I wish that it was kind of a thank you for getting us to where we're at, but we need to go in a different direction in terms of having a team principal that is an engineer or is technical minded and is going to be better for us for the future of the sport, which is what they did with Ayo Komatsu. But they didn't really give him the best send off, in my opinion. But it was the right time for him to leave.
Okay. And
I don't think we'll see him in any role in F1 with a team. He does punditry. He's on a podcast. He does quite a lot of stuff with a podcast, Red Flag podcast or some shit. They're really fucking funny boys. They are. I froth their pod. But yeah, he does a lot of stuff with them. A bit of punditry, a bit of TV work, which I think he's great at. He's a good personality. He's got a book out. He'll always be around our sport, but I don't think he'll be with a team anytime soon.
Okay. Lovely. And then second area to ask about also, which Drive to Survive highlights, is the big saga with the energy drink sponsor.
Yes.
It seems like they just got completely rorted, basically.
Yeah. Yeah. This guy, I forget his name. I'm sure he's a British guy, big beard, bit of a lumberjack fella. I think he fooled the world, to be honest. I think he fooled everyone in motorsport and around motorsport. Haas came out with this, so black and gold in our sport. We've got to talk about this a little bit. Black and gold in Formula One is so iconic. It relates back to the JPS days when JPS was sponsored, to the Lotus days when they were sponsored by JPS, which were a cigarette brand. We don't endorse cigarettes, but the cigarette brand was black and gold sponsoring. So the Lotus was a black and gold car. When I first started sim racing, people would still, in the early 2000s to the 2010s, people were still ripping off the black and gold. And then in early 2010s, Lotus came back and they came back with Lotus Renault and they came back with the black and gold livery, and it was just iconic. So that's just a little bit of background on that. Haas had announced a new title sponsor and they kind of teased a black and gold, and everyone was like, what the fuck? What are they doing? Is Lotus coming back? What's going to be the vibe?
Right.
And then it kind of came out it's this new energy drink that's hitting the market. It's called Rich Energy. They were a black and gold logo. They had, this really it felt very similar to the old Lotus Renault logo with the font and the kind of border. And then it had this stag head or some shit at the top of it. And they did this massive car launch, and the owner of Rich Energy helicoptered in and was like 45 minutes late or some shit. Gunther was going crazy. The world's media are there. The car's undercover. They were in like some fucking posh hotel or some shit in London. And he like rocks up late. They unveil the car and it's like, that looks sick. Like the colors are iconic. We've got a new energy drink company that no one was like really sure who they were, where they came from kind of thing. And it very quickly became apparent that this guy was a con artist and was a fraud and had made up a drink sponsor. Like he made up a drink that didn't exist on shelves. Somehow he had drinks. He was posting photos of him drinking it, whatever, but no one could buy it. Like I was in England at the time and like I never saw this on the shelves, but it was supposed to be a drinks manufacturer in England or some shit. So yeah, it was such a weird thing for him to pull up the wool over everyone's eyes, but mainly the team's eyes. Like usually when sponsors come on board, they have people that vet them, look into the CEO's history and the company's history and finances and all things like that. It seemed like this guy wrote a blank check that was just never going to, it was never going to cash. It was always going to bounce kind of thing. So yeah, it was really poor from Gunther's management side. And I think this was the start of him revealing that he was maybe not the best team principal for Haas.
I see.
Because he certainly didn't do his due diligence. And yeah, I can't remember how many races they raced with that livery, but they got quite a way in and there was a lot of behind the scenes stuff of they weren't getting the money. And you need money to go racing. And so they were starting to struggle because they banked on all of this money from this sponsor. And then they took him to court and it was a whole fucking thing. And they kind of just dropped them and then had to change their livery back to an old livery and dropped the black and gold. And it was quite sad to see that go because it looked so good. But it was a weird year. It was so weird. It was just so bizarre. And even still today, that guy from Rich Energy will pop up every few months and just be like, 2027. Guess what? Rich Energy are bringing their own team. He'll just randomly like tweet it and people will just be like, sure.
Okay.
Like he's a weird bloke. And yeah, how 10 years on he still is that delusional, I don't know. I really don't get it.
What a story.
What a story.
Go Haas.
Go Haas. So yeah, we mentioned quite a few names around the Haas team. Gene Haas, obviously founder, owner. Gunther Steiner, the face of Haas's first kind of era and entry. Ao Komatsu is their current team principal. And then Kevin Magnussen, as we mentioned. Also Nico Hülkenberg, Roman Grosjean, drivers like that have been associated with the team. So absolutely phenomenal list of names there for them. Where the team is at today. They've got Esteban Ocon with a lot of experience. A lot of people rate him. I don't rate him that much as a driver. I think he's very mediocre. Like he's fine for F1. He's definitely better than Stroll, but in terms of like, will never ever become world champion. Ocon is top of my list in my opinion, and that's not just because he's French. It's one of the reasons.
Okay. Sure.
I just don't like French people that much.
Dave.
I'm sorry, French people. You get it. You don't like me. I'm English. Oliver Behrman is also their second driver. I think Ollie Behrman is one of the brightest prospects we've got on the grid at the moment. I think he's very high up there for potential world champion one day. He's got a lot to do and he's got a lot to learn and a long journey to go on to get to that point. But I think the things he did in Ferrari, the things that he did with Ferrari, when Carlos Sainz was having his appendix out, the things he did that season with Ferrari was very impressive. The things he did with Haas last season was even more impressive. So yeah, very bright future for that guy. And I froth him. I really, really froth him.
Okay.
I just hope he doesn't go the way of kind of George Russell, kind of Lando Norris, where most British drivers just become wieners because fame goes to their head. Ollie seems like a very grounded guy, so I'm really hoping that he stays grounded, even if he does become world champion.
Okay.
Also, Ollie and his girlfriend they're so cute. Anytime I see them doing anything, I'm just like, you're just kids. Like they're just like little, they're just like kids. You know what I mean? Like they're just so cute.
Right. Okay.
Everything he does I just love him.
He is a funny man.
Yeah.
What was that interview he had with after the race where someone asked him like, I don't know. I don't even know what the question was. It was like super basic. And then he went and got like listened to this PR lady for like 90 seconds about exactly what to say. And came back and he was just like, we make the car faster or something.
So it was like, he was like, oh, like you really struggled for pace here. Like, is there anything that you can point to? Like, what was wrong? What was wrong with the car? And he goes over and she's like giving him this speech and he just goes, we just need to go faster. Or we just need to make the car faster or something. Yeah. And it was so basic, but it was like, Ollie. Yeah, he was like, you're so cute. Like,
it's all good, man.
But it's just like, I just want to wrap him in bubble wrap. Also, I have to really froth and like love him because my girlfriend thinks he's the hottest guy on the grid. So, yeah, shout out to Lydia. She froths him.
Dramas.
Yeah. And literally any time if I'm like,
is that legal? How old is he?
He's 18.
Okay.
Yeah, she's only 25. It's fine.
Okay.
Yeah, like there's, I think her and Ollie, there's only like 1 year. Anyway, we don't need to get into that.
Sure.
We really don't need to get into how much my girlfriend froths Ollie, and anytime he comes on screen, she's like, oh. Anyway, so 2024, they finish in P7. 2025, they finish in P8. They actually scored more points in 2025 than they did in 2024. So just shows you how tight the grid was last year. And probably shows you how tight the grid's going to be this year, because I don't imagine anyone on the grid is... Now, let me rephrase that. I think for the first time ever, I said this last year, last year's grid was the best grid of drivers we've ever had in the sport, as in consistency-wise, every one of them drivers, even Stroll, deserves to be there and is a fucking good driver. And it was the first time, in my opinion, in at least 15, 20 years that every driver has deserved to be there. We've not had a paid driver. We've not had a driver that's like there just because of sponsors or whatever. Everyone was a weapon. And I think going into this year, it's even more like carry that on, but now everyone has got one more, all them rookies have got a year under their belt. Sure. Okay, we've got Arvind as a rookie still, but we don't have 6 rookies or 5 rookies anymore. We've got pure weapons on the grid. So, it's going to be a very tight season. So the fact they had more points in 25 than 24 kind of checks out for that. Strengths, Toyota coming in as a title sponsor, huge, brings a lot of money, brings a lot of technical support and infrastructure there. They're a company with a lot of background in motorsport. They've dominated Le Mans and the rally and things like that for many, many years. So they know what it takes to win in motorsport, Toyota. So huge potential there. And another strength is they've got a bright prospect with Ollie Behrman. I also think that's a weakness because Ollie Behrman's sights, he said it in interviews many times, Ollie Behrman's sights are to Ferrari. They're not with Haas. You've got drivers in Williams like Carlos and Alex that are saying, I'm going to take Williams to the front of the grid. We're going to win with Williams. No one driving for Haas is saying, like neither of the drivers driving for Haas are saying, we're going to take Haas to the front of the grid. I think Haas are a little bit behind with that mentality. And I don't think they've got it within the team, within their engineering, within the drivers to be able to say, next year we're going to push for a championship. I think for them, if they can get within the top 6 in the championship, they'd be happy.
Yeah, okay.
And I think that's the difference between a team like Haas and a team like Williams or Aston Martin is where they're setting their sights to.
Sure.
And that's kind of it for Haas. We said this was going to be a quick one, and we've gone on some fucking tangents.
Bit, yeah.
But yeah, thank you for joining us for the Haas one. You didn't have anything else on that?
No, not at all.
Okay, go Skin. Yeah, thank you for joining us for the Haas episode. This is obviously episode 8 in our 34 of 34 series that we're doing. If you want to follow along, please, whatever platform you're listening on, drop us a follow, a subscribe, drop us a rating, a review, and use the comment section on YouTube, Spotify, things like that, because we'd love to hear what your thoughts are on these episodes. And if you've got any questions or anything about Haas or any of the previous teams, drop them below.
Oh, yeah.
If you've not listened to any of the previous 7 episodes, go listen to them, especially the Williams one.
Oh, yeah.
They're all fucking amazing. But yeah, thank you for listening. Thank you for following along. We will see you tomorrow for the Alpine...
Yes.
Audi episode.
Yes.
Yes, Alpine finished 10th in the championship. So it's Audi /Sauber.
Gotcha.
And then Alpine.
All right. Yeah, see you there.
See you there.